Welcome. It is us. Me, JT.
Michael B.
And we're here to do another
recap.
Well, it's a recap, but we never named the show it's another episode of the Sheards. Episodes.
You always try something. Just do what you normally do. Don't make me cuss on this Christian show.
The Sheards.
What's this? I think this episode 6.
Episode 6.
Okay, right on.
Okay. And so I guess we've gone from they having a little discussion with J. Drew, his mama, and Kierra about his party from last episode.
Oh, last year.
Yeah, they're kind of picking up, somewhat from that. And so at the beginning of the show, J. Drew was with his dad, the bishop, and his dad took him out to the uttermost parts of Detroit.
The what most parts?
The uttermost parts.
I didn't really understand. I guess once he explained what he was trying to do and what he was trying to get J. Drew to see.
Mm-hmm.
I guess me personally, riding in the back of a police car, looking at some of the badder parts of the area,
mm-hmm.
that wouldn't, change, my thought process. But I guess he was trying to show him more so what ministry is all about. Try to still pushing him towards that ministry thing.
I think it was that plus he didn't want him to do what he's doing now. I guess
like a mini episode of Scared Straight.
Yeah, with his dad. He pulling all his strings out, trying to get him not to go. I guess do the music thing.
And it's not. I don't think it's just the music thing. It's like the music thing, the partying thing, the drinking thing. Because
that's all in one.
Yeah, I feel like but music doesn't have to be all of that.
But his J. Drew's type of music. And what he want to do, I think his dad know.
Yeah,
I don't think his mama know how to, but I think his dad know. Because he knows.
Father knows.
And so, he's showing him that, and the guy, I guess he was with a policeman, I guess.
Yeah.
Telling him about the riots
But the fact that I'm in the backseat of a police car with a bulletproof vest on. I probably would have had to push pause on this old come to Jesus moment.
I would have to be. I would have to go down there for ministry, because it wouldn't be just
to visit.
No, if I had a relative there, it would have to be because it's something with Jesus. It would have to be him.
Yeah, you might need that
to really tell me
that shield.
Yeah, I ain't going down there for no party and a haircut. Nah, I'm chilling,
man.
But and then he goes to I guess a group home or I don't know what kind
of like a halfway home or a juvenile home or something like that.
It
was an old guy, but I thought he was over it. I didn't know he was remembering.
He looked like he was next to his bed while he was talking to him, because he said I guess he was a recovering drug addict or alcoholic. Mm-hmm. And telling him story, I'm like, he really trying to.
And I guess he almost lost his life. They really didn't even get into what actually happened to him. That's why I was waiting on this story. I'm like just like American Idol and the B.E.T. What is it? Sunday Best. Usually when they compete, first thing they do is tell they story. Yeah. And I was waiting.
But he wasn't really part of the show, so
evidently
he wasn't coming back singing a second verse of it. Tell him that's another sad story. But they did that, mm-hmm. And so I guess he's trying to get them to fly straight, and ministry is come to these people's houses and tell them the word and being a servant. And whatnot. I
can understand that, but that would almost kind of scare me the other way, because if I have to go down here and minister to people with a bulletproof vest on. Risking my life, you really got to depend on Jesus on that one,
But was he the only? Because I didn't see Bishop.
Bishop didn't. But
he had that big ass cross.
Bishop, yeah.
And so
the Lord is his shield. But I'm saying, maybe the police maybe he had it underneath his suit or whatever, his bishop cloak. They don't call They don't call it the cloak. What do they have on the suit?
I thought it's just like an overcoat and like a shirt.
Maybe so.
I guess.
But I was saying that wouldn't have made me want to go down there again after that little trip. But you know, if the Lord leads you, that's where you must go.
That was pretty much it for Bishop.
That first scene.
Okay. That first scene. That was usually. I can't believe we did that. The very first scene. Usually we had
that wasn't it for him.
No, I mean that wasn't it. You know, but that was moving on.
All right.
Kierra and George, her hairstylist, her makeup. What was that? When I said George, you know, she's having a talk with him. I guess they were at a was it outside? I can't remember if they were sitting outside. I know
they just met up.
It was them two. Yeah, they met up at some restaurant or gathering place. And she was discussing, you know, that she about her weight, and she was thinking about getting gastric bypass. I believe that's what they call it, or that's like, one. It was two of them.
Yeah, she either the lap band surgery or something
or the gastric bypass.
She basically is like, I'm gonna sneak and probably had his surgery. So now I'm gonna sneak and go and talk to this doctor. So George is like, hey, you know, have you talked to your mama about it? Because Kierra has talked to her mom about it, and that's how we found out that the mom almost died. She also talked to her brother about it in a previous episode, and he constantly reminds us that, hey, you know, my mom almost died.
You don't need to do this.
That lets you know how much this weight issue is bothering Kierra, considering that her mom had the surgery, almost died, and she's still considering it as an option. So
it's in her head.
It's
on her mind.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely bothering her, because I can't imagine. Well, I guess people do it all the time. You know, you find out like somebody in your family or your parents die from alcoholism or something, and then you continue to drink. You know, do the same pattern. We got to learn for ourselves, I guess. Moral of the story.
But we continue. They talked about it, and then she actually went to the doctor. And the doctor, you know, she had a little test showing, you know, how much fat that she had on her body or her fat content.
He said she was 114 pounds. She had 114 pounds of fat on her
body, and called her morbidly obese. That's all she needed. You know, okay, I really need the surgery. And, I mean, he was naming the weights like overweight, heavyweight, or whatever.
I don't know if he said heavyweight, but, you know, overweight, obese.
It was something else, but he was naming like at least 3 or 4 before he
went
to.
Like the last thing was
her morbid obese, and that was her.
That's scary though.
Yeah, I believe it.
I think that would scare me. You know, that's probably why I haven't been to the doctor, because I know he got a list of stuff to tell me. Like, we've been waiting on you, Brother Michael. We've been keeping track. Anyway,
but she did. You know, I wouldn't think she like felt good about it, but I think, you know, it gave her something like she really wants to do this surgery,
right? And
so that's what I'm saying. That's all she needed was to hear that. Oh, hell no.
Because she think this is like the best option for her at the moment. Because she's tried dieting and she can't imagine.
She said, I reached my plateau, and I you know, 70 pounds is it. Like she said, I'm immune. I'm immune to like dieting. To dieting now. And so I hopefully she doesn't go, you know. But I think she kind of, because then she like go out with friends or something and her cousin.
Yes.
And they was like made a bet. Yes. Well, she gave her a little testimony about it, you know, and they told her, you know, well, no, you shouldn't.
Yeah, they told their stories about people they knew that had the surgery.
They told her the bad stories.
Yeah, the one girl was saying how somebody had the surgery, and now they walk around with a throw up cup, and it's like, who wants to hear that? That would
especially when I'm eating too.
I don't think it was any food on the table though.
I don't care if I'm drinking water. I'm about to throw up this water because that was just ridiculous.
But it's the truth. I mean, that's what you need to hear. You know, it's not all roses. And then I don't know. Maybe her mother's story. Maybe her mother wasn't graphic enough. But she lived there with her, so she should have seen what her mother went through. But
she should have.
That wasn't enough.
And while they're at the table, her cousin made like a bet, like, I'll give you $1 for every calorie that you burn.
And I was like, I thought she was gonna say for every pound, $1 for every pound. But she said for every calorie, and I'm like, you can go to the gym for like an hour and burn a good couple hundred pounds. And she said $1 for, but maybe she just knew that Kierra didn't have the gumption or the willpower to actually do it. So she was trying to really encourage. Because I would have did it. I would have did it for a dime every calorie. You want to put some money on my weight loss? He ain't concerned about my health.
You just told me you ain't even going to the doctor.
Oh, but I know my issues.
You gotta realize yourself first, Michael B.
Moving
Only
on.
you
can prevent forest fires.
And so that sent us to when they did the little dance aerobics.
Oh yeah, they went. Yeah.
Some
little young dance instructor.
I don't know who he was.
He had the little boot camp shirt. I'm thinking that they really gonna work him out.
You like? Is he really?
He was showing them like dance moves, but you know, that's like you said
like
earlier.
Dance aerobics.
This is what I guess working out is going to more dance because it's easier to catch on to dance and it's funner, and this is something you probably could do at home by yourself. You go to the club, you find yourself doing your Tabo moves.
I've seen some. Then I'm like, oh hell.
But then you know, I mean, it makes it more fun.
Yeah.
So.
And so they did it. I think they worked out, and she was done. She was spent. And she's like, okay, so how many calories did I burn? 20.
He said about 20.
What?
And that was like another nail in the coffin. She's like,
that done sent her to the doctor some more.
Forget this. We need to talk to this surgery. We need to talk about that again. Because I ain't got time. You know, I'm working out, dancing.
Nobody got time for that. I mean, she looked like she was spent.
But I feel like maybe she was on like a treadmill or something that you could actually track. She was basically taking his word for it. So maybe she did a little bit more. But also when they were dancing, I feel like they weren't really exerting themselves. They were just
they couldn't get, some of them couldn't get the dance steps and all that. You know, they were moving. But
maybe dancing, if you got to get the dance steps first
and do it over,
and you still ain't burning calories, then we ain't got time for that.
Oh, well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know the gauge. Did she lift her leg up just a little bit more? She would have got 21 calories. I don't know the scale.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying maybe she should have went to like the equipment that actually tracks, what you do. But anyway.
I think.
I can hear you.
No, I'm thinking. Was it more on that? But no, it was a lot of switching, going back and forth between Kierra and J. Drew. It was a lot. It was very interesting. But they go to he talks to his mother and about his decisions, his decision making, and one small minor decision can affect the legacy of the family. And she went down the line again. Your grandmother did this, and or your dad or something. She went down some type of line. That she usually go down, and he tells the family history. Keep the legacy going. And so plus they talked about because his friend was coming out of prison.
Right, Melvin.
Is that his? Yeah. And I don't know if they see. I don't know if they see him as a bad influence. From what I saw, unless he just sneaky. What he went to jail for?
They didn't say what he went to jail for,
but he kind of slipped and let us know like his time.
Yeah, he hadn't been there that long. But maybe this wasn't his first time going to jail. Maybe that's because evidently the mom or the family, maybe they don't have as much trust for Melvin as they used to, and she has a problem with J. Drew because of the simple fact he trusts his friends more than he trusts his parents.
But Drew was like, he made a mistake. So I'm thinking it's like this one time thing.
This one time, mm-hmm.
So dude was like, I haven't ate real food in like 90 days. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking this dude did at least a year or something.
I mean, the dramatics of the episode.
Yeah. Like he been locked away since they been out of high school or something.
And remember, Kierra was talking to his sister, and she was like, "This is the first year that we haven't talked to each other or called each other on our birthdays.
Your birthday must have been during the summertime or something. Maybe 3 months.
Maybe we misheard it.
I heard 90 days. I heard 90 days too.
But maybe he got in trouble, and so he was in like solitary and had a different kind of food.
Maybe his real food was the prison food, and then the messed up food
was in solitary. So, because it didn't. I don't know. I don't want to be in jail for 2 days, so I can understand 90 days probably feels like an eternity.
I don't want to be in the back of a police car. Forget all that.
Oh, I've been in the back of a police car. You can't be black and not be in the back of a police car.
Oh, you can.
Oh, you can.
You can.
Well, that's praise Jesus.
But I think it was a well served, I guess, talk. But it seemed like they keep on having
I can't really say it was well served because J. Drew is still thinking his way. The mama is still.
I think a seed was planted. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Okay. It might not. I'm pretty sure when something happens, hopefully nothing. He'll have something to go back of. Mama said this, and she said, Mama said there be days like this.
What?
That's what she said. It be days like this.
Oh.
And so I think it was a pretty good meeting. Mm-hmm. But she keep on going down that line. I'm starting to call her like
because she don't want. Basically, I think she just don't want him to forget like everybody who sacrificed things before him, and now he's just wanting to be rebellious and do his own thing. But hey, you can't really just because this is our family's name that you're putting out there. Now, if he changed his name to Chocolate Thunder or something like that, then maybe they wouldn't have as much of an issue. But he's still using the family name. On that flyer that they were talking about, it said J. Drew Sheard with the bottles of champagne and club address and club name. So that's still their family's name being put out there for a promotion that they really don't agree with.
Well, what you gonna do?
Change your name.
What you gonna? I mean, he named them exactly the same name as him, so he ain't got nobody to blame but himself.
But because you want your son to be like you want to influence your son or convince your son to follow in your footsteps.
Well, he ain't liking J. Drew now. I wish your name was Arthur. Arthur Drew. And we go next. Old Bishop and Holly. They little confrontation. I wasn't ready for this one. It came out of left field. Like, did he initiate like the talk? Or
I feel like he initiated the talk.
Like I need to set up a time. We need to talk.
Yeah, we need to talk because he wanted to know, basically see where Holly's head was and try to make sure she ain't trying to exclude J. Drew from what Kierra's got going on.
And make sure she know her place.
Make sure
that was the main reason.
Make sure she know her
all
place.
All that other rigmarole messed
and like up that meeting made me want to know like who hired Holly. Was it the family?
It seemed like it was Kierra's decision, because they really don't. It seemed like if she was gone, they wouldn't care.
If who was gone?
Holly. This is something Kierra brought in. I don't know where she came from. It seemed like she.
But if that's the case, I don't understand why. Well, I guess because that's your daughter, being the bishop. That's your daughter, so you still want to make sure that things are in line, but. I feel like that probably should have been a meeting that he had with Kierra and Holly instead of just Holly if he had nothing to do with hiring her. If his money's not going towards, whatever they got going on, then he really shouldn't have anything to say, which is kind of where her attitude, I believe, came from. Because he kind of...
Well, she just don't want to answer to him, basically.
Right.
She basically like every decision that I do, I shouldn't have to always...
explain myself or go through you or you be like a roadblock for us.
Asking, is this part of our name? Do I some certain guidelines that she had to take? She got a little bit turned up at him. She didn't go all full blown, but she had a nice little stink on.
But you saw what she's like. I recognize what this is. You bring me into the big bishop's office and you got your fancy table and all of that.
I'm not afraid of you.
I'm not afraid of you. He's like,
hold up.
he pulled one of the Yanlas, pump your brakes. You gotta,
he backed up in the chair. Wow.
And that was one of those, if these cameras weren't rolling moments, you probably would have said some words that weren't from
attitude.
Yeah.
I just can't believe it. And he was taken back.
I was taken aback.
He was taken back. But I maybe they have his cross on.
I kind of understand where she was coming from, though.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she could have said it a lot different. And then... But I feel like maybe she was trying to nip it in the bud right here.
Yeah.
Like we really don't need to be having these type of meetings, because I'm trying to do what I was hired to do. We want to push Kierra to a bigger platform, and if it means hiring other producers, then I'm going to be hiring other producers. Her working with other producers. So I don't want to have to every time you guys don't agree with something we do, then we have to have these type of meetings. Yeah. So you have to respect her, but I still feel like maybe she could have said it a little bit different.
Oh yeah, she could. I'm not afraid of you.
Because she didn't have to say that at all. Mm-mm. I'm not afraid of you.
I don't think he was.
That was one of those. I don't answer to you.
Yeah.
So that made me think that maybe she don't. But I still, if his money ain't got nothing to do with her, then I don't understand why this meeting happened.
Well, because she's on the label. And that's why it was about J. Drew and Kierra. And I got these people on my label, and I own a label, and you coming in saying J. Drew not going to be part of the. I don't think he came into the whole situation, because I don't think they told him he's just not going to do the whole CD. I mean the whole album. What's his name?
Are you trying to say he was under the impression that?
He was Rodney just X-ed was going to probably doing the whole album,
and J. Drew was out,
and just out completely. And I'm thinking that's where he was coming from, the beginning of the meeting, and then she explained herself. She's like, I know they they brother and sister, and she's like, he's going to have whatever,
a part of this, whatever.
And then he said, and then he came back. Well, they do their stuff. J. Drew does his stuff, and she's an artist. She picks whoever she wants. But I think he was just probably sticking up for his son. Because then they had a talk, I think last episode about that, didn't they?
Don't get me lying.
Maybe it was a talk I wanted them to have. Maybe that was it.
It just seemed like a talk they would have had.
Yeah. Next is J. Drew's party. He got on his Sunday best.
He had a 15-piece suit. That's when you got on a lot of clothes when you can't even move your arm. This all he can do.
The whole party.
It was just kind of uncomfortable. But
that dude had
he still looked like he was having a good time though.
Oh yeah, I mean it's his party, and so he said he didn't drink because he said, boy, if I would I guess somebody came back,
everybody's watching,
and
they know who him. He is. And probably 50 church people there just with their cell phones ready to go. It's like
chink chink chink
because they saw the champagne bottles on the flyer, so we're gonna catch them drinking, Bishop.
Plus it was in VIP, and so I mean
that's where
the liquor was flowing. But he kept it, he kept it clean.
Clean as far as alcohol, but he was hugging up on all the lovely ladies kept coming up. He hugging on all of them.
Yeah.
They had a little, I won't call her a chicken head, but had a little nice little girl up there in the VIP dancing with him. He couldn't do too much, but that's
what old girl Shan. She snuck up in the party, and of course peeping him out the whole time and talking to I guess the girls that she came with. Saying, old girl been hugged up on him all day.
She won't leave his side.
Now she hate her for life now. I mean, it's already just hatred. She done burned a hole in her heart.
Enemy.
Oh, already. I guess that's how they do.
Now, the other thing, though, Kierra didn't come.
I don't know. She already knew what type of party it was. And, she's good about not wanting to be, I guess, in that environment. So, now, she leaves quickly. Or or just say no.
I understood that, but then the past couple episodes, she's been singing at bars. But I mean that's her main. That's her main. So maybe that was
performing. That's it.
Okay.
If she didn't have to perform, she probably wouldn't.
She was definitely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, she said it both times, but.
Oh. No. Liquor. But the party, I think it went well. they really didn't say nothing else about nothing happened. After the bishop,
they ain't gonna show you. They ain't gonna show you the fights. Oh. that only happens here.
The drunk girl coming out the club. Yeah, they didn't show you.
And then they didn't show Shan going to snatch old girl out the VIP or nothing like that. That only happens in Kansas City.
Oh, okay. But it was a good party. The next one is Kierra and her friends. But we already talked about that. I guess her weight. I ain't saying I'm getting tired of her talking about her weight.
What are you saying, JT?
It is becoming a problem.
Well, it's been a problem for her.
No, I mean, it's going to be an issue.
What does that mean?
I never dealt with this before. It's being an issue with me with her talking about it. I'm like, take the surgery now. I'm like, do something.
So she can be talking about it.
You know how a person like you get mad at a movie, and they first you want them to be saved, and they just do some dumb stuff, or you just get tired of whatever they doing,
and
the decisions they
make. Them off.
Oh, just die already, kill them off. So I'm like, take the surgery, run, do some sprints,
make a decision, basically.
Make a decision, girl. I'm like her brother. Hey, get off your lazy, get off your duff. And do something, duff.
What does that mean?
Your ass.
Oh, on a church show, huh?
Ass in the Bible.
I never heard duff before. But, because once again, maybe if the surgery for his mom, do you think if the surgery was successful for his mom and she didn't have those complications, he would be saying this?
I think it's I don't think they'll be so animate about her not having it. But I think he'll somewhat, because this is his sister, he like, man, come on. You don't need no surgery. All you need to do is
get out, run, work it out a little bit, go to the gym. And I think that's anybody would.
And don't they have like a massive scar and all that mess? And,
I don't know.
Why do it? And I'm glad she, came to her senses somewhat and said, well, I guess I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way.
But she did, since you mentioned that, she did find out because when she was going to the doctor, they ran the test to see if she was actually a candidate for the surgery. Mm-hmm. Because you can't just go in there and get the surgery. They have to run a test on you. And she found out that she was an actual candidate.
Yeah, and that's when Drew, I guess had to say something. Who else? It was somebody, her cousin, the one that offered the $500. She was there too, and both of them was still, telling her, nah, you don't need to do this. You don't need to do this.
Yeah.
You don't need to do this.
And they're just looking out for her safety.
Yeah.
And I bet if she had somebody like to actually, do it with her, to go out and encourage her, and not just encourage her, tell her to do it, but actually go with her to the gym, and I think that'll
usually
help
it's a person that's there, battling with you. That's usually a nice vice to keep on going.
Right.
Because it's hard, getting up by yourself and doing all that. But then they meet up again, and he talked her and Kierra and J. Drew. I think they was in the studio, and I think he was telling about the party. But anyway, he said, I got another party that I want you. She's like, okay, so I got to scan everything when I talk to you now about these parties.
Like, who
gonna be there? What they gonna be doing? Is drinks gonna be there? He's like, yeah, we're gonna be liquored up and whatnot.
He didn't say liquored up.
But he said we gonna have some drinks, some sippy sip, and what that's. How he said it.
We're going to lick it up.
Yeah, lick it up. And she was like, okay, whatever. But I guess he somewhat tricked her. Because of what they were
she didn't want to go because she didn't want to be, if liquor's going to be involved in it, usually when liquor's involved, people start acting crazy. And she knows herself. She's like, I'm going to be somewhere in the corner by myself. And then you guys going to be talking about, there she go acting funny again. Being all Kierra. When all she's just trying to, she don't want any parts of that lifestyle, so you can't really blame her for that. So that's why she's trying to be more careful about. Just now, she know that J. Drew is pretty much.
He gonna do what he gonna do.
He in left field right now.
And he's signing this contract. He's
ready to party. But he tricked her.
He tricked her, and it was I guess they little a group of PKs, preacher kids. I guess I'm pretty sure from their fathers and mothers, they know each other, from the ministry, and they, just on the boat talking, and it seemed like they was talking.
It seemed like more of an interview than just talking.
It wasn't not even an interview. I think it was just they was having discussion and asking questions, but it quickly went to just Jay Drew and
Kierra.
It seemed like something that they should be having by themselves, and they, their frustrations came out during that time about his career in the church, and and her, I guess her thoughts on what he's doing also, and it was somewhat personal. But they made it personal. That I guess they didn't care that other people was around. But he was like, y'all always thinking about what other people say, And
when he was saying y'all, he's about
the mama, the family.
The family, yeah.
And if you want to do whatever you want to do, do it. Basically, and she was like, well, what was the word she used that we couldn't figure out? Like your prophecy.
We couldn't figure it out.
Not yet fulfilled. And so what God has for you is for you. She said it like a Lord of the Rings type deal. I mean it was like some proverb. She said, if your cloak does not turn blue by 12 o'clock, your prophecy will be fulfilled. Something like that.
All right.
And so she gave him some type of
okay.
Sound like some mystic magical words. But and that's how they ended it. With that. So basically, hey, I don't know what your how plan's gonna be for you. So if you say this is what you're gonna do, this
But she was also letting him know, I support you. Even though she may not agree with some of the things that he's doing, she can't, I can't interpret what God has told you to do. If that's what he told you to do, if that's a path he's leading you down, then hey, ain't nothing I can do or say about that. So, but I still support you. You're my brother. I love you. But then after that little scene, remember, they were back at the house, and she wanted him to go to the studio and finish up the song they were working on.
Oh yeah.
And he about that business now.
He went on that signed contract mode.
Yeah.
J. Drew. that ain't the brother. That's J. Drew. He done signed this contract.
He fancy that.
Yeah, hey, your people.
He said, "Have your people call my people."
This here, this ain't gonna work no more.
We brothers and sisters.
You just want to go in the studio whenever you want.
Yeah, all last minute.
Never again. That's how Nah.
It was kind of mean. I can understand a little bit why he feels that way, because like he said, your manager goes and sets up appointments for everybody else you work with. Yeah. Why can't she do that for me? When she doesn't do it, I feel like she doesn't have the respect for me like she has for everybody else.
And everybody else gonna follow your lead. He says, so they're not gonna respect me. So I can see that. Why don't you just get your brother and you can get him anytime. But now, I guess he got a schedule. He got that signed contract.
J.
Drew.
Oh, that's funny.
And so that.
But you see her face. She felt kind of. She felt a little funny about that.
Yeah, and kind of dejected. She gave that little.
So this how we gonna
throwing a rock against the river or something. Look,
Now I'm wondering if that's gonna hurt their relationship now.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that was a little bruise right there. Just that right there, nice little. Either it can be healed.
But see, hopefully she's better than me, because if it was me,
we know you would have brought your.
I was like, all right,
we better go to the studio.
No,
that you would have already had a cock and ready.
No, I'm practicing nonviolence on this show.
Oh, okay.
However, if that was the case, and he's like, I'd be like, okay, I'll have her contact you, and Holly, we just wouldn't work with J. Drew. That'd be the end of it.
But that'd be the
end of it.
Because you got to see him like in 2 hours.
That's fine. But we ain't got to work together. We're gonna. I can't stop being, your brother or your sister. Then we just won't work together. And now we can just be a happy family. You do you, I'm gonna do me.
I guess
That's my J. Drew.
Close up. that dude had like so much clothes on for the when he came out in that suit, and I'm like, he looked like he about to go to
it's like a wedding, maybe like a how I feel like people that get married they are overdressed. I'm getting married in a tank top and some slacks.
That sound like that ain't even a wedding. You getting married. That ain't a wedding. You getting married. You like at the courthouse or you ask somebody to just come off the street
and marry.
I'm ordained. Come over. That dude said some tank top, a tank top and some slacks.
That's all I got.
That's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
They, as far as the episode, it seemed like of course, I think J. Drew is like just sliding a little bit further and further. It's
away from the church.
He sees it as independence, but I think it's more rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
In his heart. And I think he resents the church.
He started,
He's starting to really,
based on like these past couple episodes and his attitude towards, even when his parents or whatever bring up the church or bring up how the people see their family name, he it all to him is like, oh, so you're really just concerned about what the church is going to think.
Mm-hmm.
So
everything we do, everything we say, if my poop don't say hallelujah when it come out, y'all got something wrong with it. I feel them. That's all they talk about 24/7. That's how they live. Mama in the business, daddy in the business.
That's something you might not never know nothing about. When God is the center of your life, then that's your conversation, JT. That's what else is there? And that's all I got to say.
The Super Bowl.
See, that's the devil in me. I knew the devil's gonna come up with something.
They make it war.
There's cheese dip, There's flavors. Come on,
Bishop. I'm pretty sure he likes a football game or two. That's probably why they get out around 12 o'clock.
Do they?
I don't know.
Let's end it.
Till next time, people.
Adios.